Welcome to our Republic Day program. You know, we belong to a generation that, like generations before, hopes for a better Guyana. Having learned the lessons of the past, we can foresee within the span of this decade and beyond, Guyana has the opportunity of becoming a united, productive, innovative, and prosperous nation, free of ethnic strife and built upon the foundations of freedom, faith, self-reliance, and accountability. Working together, all of us can build a disciplined, caring society, one in which every citizen has an equal opportunity to achieve their fullest potential. But to reach our goals, we must have optimism, courage, and the commitment to ongoing efforts, even in the face of frustration and setbacks. Most of all, we must have the certitude that can raise the fortunes of our land. On this 41st Republic celebration, I call on each and every citizen, every Guyanese, everywhere, to join this effort, regardless of your political convictions. Do we have the courage to do so? I have stepped forward and will be counted. What about you? Please join us in this true adventure of a lifetime to remake our nation for the good of us and the good of our children. Let us celebrate future Republic Days with unity, economic freedom, and equal opportunities. We are a land of many people, but with one destiny. It is time we take our country back. We wish all our citizens a happy Republic Day. Thank you very much for joining me again in this program. I want to hear your messages on what is your thoughts on our 41st Republic. What are those thoughts and certitude that you will do to fight to take our country back? As we look around the world, we see every citizen in many, many countries, from the United States to Egypt to Tunisia to Libya, standing up for what they believe in. It is time on our 41st birthday that we step forward to work together to make our land a better place. And I'm excited that this is not just about mass celebrations, and I'm glad that the president did not cancel our mass celebrations. I was very, very upset that he would even think of putting mass celebrations on a Sunday, which is a godly day for many of us. But the fact that we will celebrate our 41st Republic Day tomorrow, let us reflect on where we have come since we became a republic. Many of us realize that at the age of 22, a young age of 22, the PPP government took over our country. And from the age of 22 to now that we're 41, many of us believe that, we could have done much better. I commend the government for what they have tried to do. I realize that, now that we are 41 years old, going forward in our 40s, we need a new administration. We need a better plan for our country. We need to be able to move towards that prosperous nation that I have talked about and many of us have talked about, our hope for our Guyana, hope for our children. That's what we want as we celebrate our Republic Day tomorrow, is to look forward to a new Guyana, a better Guyana. I commend the past. As I think through the Republic Day in 1972, I was a young individual, and I remember President Burnham and his vision for the country to be self-sufficient, to stand on its own. And that vision hasn't changed today. We still need to be a nation that stands on its own, to take care of our people, equal opportunity for all. President Burnham had a vision. Dr. Jagan came in and he did his best to add to that program, to build on certain infrastructure changes that was necessary in our country. President Jagdeo came in and did his best in trying to implement programs that he believed that could be implemented. I think he could have done a lot more, and the PPP government could have done a lot more from the age of 22 to the age of 41. That's an age where you should rapidly develop your education, your income level, your prosperity, your wealth, your homes, having your future retirement plan. Those are the age where between the ages of 22 to 41 is when you're working the hardest. And sadly, In the last 19 years, we have not had a country being managed at that aggressive pace that we need it to be managed. And we look forward to 2011, and as I asked you in our message there, for all of us to join together to work towards a better nation. We don't always have to beat up each other. We don't always have to complain of the past, but we have to consider what we have gone through. Lots of frustration, a lot of setbacks, but I can tell you, not just me, but many of us all over this world, Guyanese everywhere, believe in our country. We believe in our patriotism, the fact that our national flag should be the sole product tomorrow that we celebrate with, the fact that this is our Guyana, and a Guyana that we love, and a Guyana that we want to make better. I want to take your phone calls tonight, on what would you like to see now that we're 41 years old, we're still struggling to get our act together, we're still a country that is begging around the world. We have not achieved that independence and that stance as a republic that we wanted to achieve in 1970. I said 72 early, in 1970, that we look forward to. What is it that you want to see? And I look forward to discussing with you tonight those issues. And the fact is, let's celebrate our flag tomorrow. Let's celebrate our culture. Let's celebrate our heritage. Let's look at each other and give each other a hug and says, this is our country. We will work together. We'll take it back to make our nation a better place. I'll take your phone calls. You're on the air. Yes, you're on the air.
Just looking at your program just now.
Yes, and we've just started.
And talking about the mash and whatever. I'm about with this water all over the place. They're cleaning all these drains and outfalls and whatever. How come there's still so much flooding all over the place?
Well, you make a very good point. I mean, on our 41st birthday in 1970, when I went to the first mash, even if it rained, we did not have those floods. We have spent billions of dollars over the last 5, 10, 15 years on cleaning the drains over and over, yet we don't see any progress. The Prime Minister said yesterday that all the pumps are working. Everything is fine.
That's my main concern. You're always hearing all these pumps are working.
Yes,
all
but
drains are being cleaned, and yet I live in Thomas Street and live here for the last 5 years. I'm trying to get the city council to clean the drain. As soon as the rain smiles, I'm floating.
Yes, and that's the sad part. Thank you for your call. That's the sad part of our expenditures in our land. And again, at 41 years old, we shouldn't have to be going back and doing the same things over and over again. We should be more mature. We should not be wasting our money. We have seen waste of taxpayers' money. It's not just Georgetown flooded. It's across the country. And I know rainfall, you cannot help if there's more rainfall than normal. But the fact is, when you see the billions of dollars of our taxpayers' money going to drainage and irrigation every year, I've got to ask the Minister of Agriculture next time I see him, Mr. Minister, why do we get so much flooding every time? And why, the President walking through the water, he should be embarrassed yesterday to walk through that water with his shoes on. It's the fact he should be upset. And look at his 2010 budget, his 2009 budget, his 2007 budget, and his 2011 budget and says, what, darn it, we're wasting the money. Why aren't we fixing these things once and for all? We've got our work to do as citizens. Yes, we've got to keep our drains clean, but the fact that our engineering process is poorly designed, but our president, Dr. Jagdeo, is building a mansion on the seawall. And I just hope that he plans to guard the seawall from water coming over the seawall, because that's sea defense land. And I'm very disappointed that the president, the champion of climate change, will build a mansion on our seawall land. And I hope that the president in his retirement age, getting $1 million a month, will be the ultimate guard to tell Peter Ramsaroop and the rest of the citizens that water is coming over the seawall. I'll take your phone calls. Yes, can I help you?
Hi, Peter. Good night.
Good night.
So what I would want to see happen to Guyana is the vision that God has for this nation. So we need to know what is it at this point in time we should look like. And those who are coming in to lead this nation to build on the legacy that was left instead of just carrying things backward.
Yes.
To find a common ground, because every leader that comes, in the eyes of God, they're supposed to pick up from there and take the nation forward.
Okay, thank you very much. And I do believe in the Supreme Being, and I believe all leaders should believe in the Supreme Being, the fact that, you need that help in running a nation. I love the caller billing on the legacy, and I opened with the fact that, President Burnham had a vision for Guyana during the Republic creation. Dr. Jagan had a vision with President Burnham for an independent Guyana. President Burnham talked a lot about self-sufficiency. Those are things that we cannot give up on. Even though our current administration has not taken the mantle and take our country forward, doesn't mean that we have to look at them as bad. I believe that they've done the best they could. But going forward, we need new leadership that does believe in God, that believes that we can be a prosperous nation. The fact that it says righteousness exalted a nation, we've got to believe that we can be better, and working together, regardless of your race, regardless of your religion, that we can make our country the vision we want it to be. And that's simple life. I've mentioned many times in the program, our simple Guyanese dream. On our 44th birthday, we want a decent home. We want a decent living standards. We want good education for children. We don't want to import teachers. I think that was a slap on our face when the president and Dr. Luncheon says we will import science and math teachers. I'm very, very disappointed at the trade unions for not stepping up, and for all teachers to say you're going to take 5% pay increase in January, getting $1,012 more in your paycheck. You've gone 3 to 5 years of schooling to study math and science. You're working hard on your education. You're spending your own money on transportation. You have no duty free on cars. You have no free land as a teacher. Yet, our government can look us straight in the eye and says, we've got to bring in foreign teachers to teach your children and pay them thousands of US dollars, thousands of dollars in benefits. And why not take care of our own? On our 41st birthday, all of you watching, and if you have a teacher in your family, and when you go take your children to school on Thursday, tell those teachers you love them. The fact that we ought to take care of our own teachers first and ensure that they have a better life, that they can teach our children, they can stay in our country because we will pay them better. That's what our vision should be, and that's what we want to do as a government, is to ensure that we take care of our people first and make sure all of us have the opportunity to have a prosperous life. Yes, you're on the air.
Hi, good evening, Peter.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Okay, fine, thank you. I'd like to find out the amount of Indian national that BK is bringing in to do the sea defense. Why couldn't it take local people to do it?
Well, yes, I believe that you do need sometimes engineering help. We are short of certain skill sets in Guyana. But the fact is that most of the workers, and that's where our UG students ought to be focusing on engineering. Yes, I know of many contract workers that makes $5,000 to $10,000 US dollars a month when they come into Guyana to work on our sea defense on any contract. Even some of the people in the office of the president is making significant US dollars. Yet, if you're a worker working for one of those contractors, doing whether it's masonry, whether it's engineering, whether it's design, you are making Guyana wages, but yet we bring in foreign nationals to make higher salaries than we do. And go back to my previous message on the teachers. We have to be taking care of our own. Dr. Jack Dio, I hope you're listening. And I know many of your staff do listen, because I got a call from the ERC last week about this program. And I don't recognize the ERC. I think the institution needs to be revamped. We don't need independent body run by the government. The independent body is